Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, we're going to talk about what actually makes a man magnetic to ladies. This is a perspective based on research, and we're going to talk about some of them in terms of the analysis and the sample size because some of you guys were asking about that. I don't do it as often because the videos will become like 40, 50 minutes long, but we're going to try and talk a little bit about that today, understanding what you guys can do if you guys are a magnetic man, if you want to be more magnetic, and if you guys relate to some of this, maybe you can share where some of these behaviors in yourself comes from so other gentlemen in the comment section can kind of learn from you as well. Where do some of these traits come from? Because I know some of you guys are this way based on what you guys have shared. I know some of you guys are. And so if if you're comfortable, you can help some of your, fellow commenters out or whatever you guys want to call it, okay? The very first one, based on research, we're seeing that unwavering confidence and passion about your passion and your goals. This does not necessarily mean that you have to reach your goals tomorrow. You just have confidence in what you do and what you love. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be video games. It could be fixing that 2001 car that you have sitting on your driveway that you keep fixing and fixing and fixing. I know that my dad has this really old truck. It is older than me, and he is just saving that thing no matter what. It broke on the highway or whatever multiple times in one day, and he will save that thing forever. I know that, right? That's his passion. You guys probably have that. You have a car or some passion that you just always, you have unwavering confidence towards it. Like you love whatever that is. I know a lot of you guys have it. It's more common with men. And communicating that can also be very helpful, okay? The correlation to this is a couple factors, okay? So I'm going to explain that based on the research. The passion shows autonomy and identity of who you are, and unwavering confidence shows self-esteem. Research does show that these aspects is why it improves attractiveness. So the passion shows identity. Maybe you have a passion about your 2001 car, whatever this car is, right? Not even a truck, whatever you want it to be, okay? You have passion about that. It shows that autonomy. You don't really care about what other people think about your car. You are yourself, and you like your car, so you want to keep fixing it and fixing it and fixing it, okay? Identity. You have a certain identity to who you are. Maybe you're a guy that identifies in your emotional way, that you like cars, that you like whatever you do. You feel like you can fix anything. That is who you are, and you have an unwavering confidence, and that shows self-esteem, right? I was just talking about my dad. One thing about him is he can fix anything. I feel that way. Like, I have never seen him not fix something. He can fix anything in the world. He can build anything. That's how I feel. I could be wrong. I've always seen him build and fix things, but it's also because he shows up that way. He believes that about himself, and he will fix anything. And that's just a person in my life, like my father. So obviously I probably look at him to a pedestal type of situation because I'm his daughter. But I feel that any man that does this, it's not even about attractiveness in a romantic sense. It's about the fact that people will perceive you as somebody that's valuable, connecting. It's magnetic, right? People will want to learn from you, want to connect with you. Other men will look up to you. Other people will want to respect you. If it's a career-wise, maybe people want to work for your company. People want to learn in that perspective. So it's not just attraction. It's about magnetizing who you are, because what you are and who you are brings an element from somebody else to somebody else. So you make other people feel confident. You make other people want to be more autonomous. You make other people feel confident because you are that way, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. That's the first one, okay? The next one is particular with romantic situations. The first one wasn't entirely romantic. It helps. We saw research does improve attractiveness, but this one is very particular to romantic relationships. You match her tone and emotions. Research does show that ladies particularly feel more attracted and magnetized by men who are able to match her tone and emotion. Actually, interesting enough, a lot of women find a lot of frustration if they're in a romantic relationship and their boyfriend does not do this. Not your fault. Men and women are different, right? Of course. But matching her tone and her emotion allows her to feel seen, appreciated, and loved. This will help you stand out as well. And it also proves that you are okay with the flexibility of yourself and herself. It kind of feels like you don't take yourself too seriously because you're trying to understand her. So let's just say she's really sad that, I don't know, Sephora doesn't have the perfume that she wanted. right? It's just not there. Now she has to go home and order it. She went to the store. She was hoping that it was there. Maybe that's the story, okay? And she's telling you she's really sad because the main reason she went to the mall was to see if they had this perfume. The website said it was in stock and it's not there. So this is, her story of she's sad about this, and you match that tone, oh, that must have been so frustrating. They should have updated the website, but I'm glad to hear that you're able to, pick it up from the website. How long is it going to ship to your house? Or are you going to pick it up at the store? Like, you start matching her emotion and tone instead of saying, oh, that's so dumb. Who cares? It's just a perfume, right? Maybe to you that's how you feel, but you're matching her tone. So she feels like, oh, wow, he really understands that this perfume means so much to me. This is a frustration point in my day and I want him to hear me, right? She was expressing that to you. The next one is undivided attention. Very similar to what we talked about. Research shows this, and the research is in the description box. You are giving her attention. That must have been so frustrating. I'm so sorry. What's so special about that perfume? Is it something you're interested in? Is it something you always carry? Tell me more about this. Whatever it is, you're letting her feel like from her mind, she's the only woman in the room and you are giving her that attention. But interesting enough, that makes you more magnetic because she's drawn to you because of the way you make her feel. She feels special and she wants to continue to be with you because of how special you make her feel, right? The next one is respecting her decisions while still holding to your own decisions, okay? This one is with autonomy and identity, which we already talked about, right? And more particular in conflict dynamics, okay? So let's try and give an example of a conflict. Let's just say she says, I want to do Thanksgiving. I want you to do Thanksgiving with me and my family. And you're like, I'm not really a Thanksgiving guy. I think I'd rather be home with my dog. Maybe that's a story, right? And you're like, I don't mind if we did Thanksgiving, me and you, but I don't really like your folks, right? Maybe that's a story, whatever it is. And she's saying, I really want you to change your mind. I want you to do Thanksgiving with my family. It will be so much fun. Let's take pictures, whatever it is. And you're like, yeah, I can really respect that. I can appreciate that. The compromise is that we can do Thanksgiving just me and you. I promise I'll smile in the pictures. I'll wear the shirt you want and we can do that. But I really don't want to do Thanksgiving with your family, right? So you still held to your own decision. You still respected hers and even compromised, but you're still saying there's a hard line here. I don't like your folks. I'll see them if I have to or during certain events, but Thanksgiving, I don't want to. They're out of town. I have work the next day. It's just not flexible for me. That's kind of your thing. And you held to that. That'll make her not only respect you, but also she feels like you are compromising and she will realize, you know what? I might be being a little unreasonable. I want to hear his side. He is making a compromise that still sounds nice. Let me go ahead and do that, right? A lot of ladies, especially because you're magnetizing hopefully as many as you want, or you're trying to connect with different people, you're able to pick the one that is able to communicate on your speed, right? You don't want to, a lot of guys are saying, oh, I'm upset that I don't have a lot of girls, or I'm not connecting with a lot of these, particular types of ladies, but a lot of women, a lot of people are not mentally at the point where you are. And so you'd rather probably attract one or two or however many you guys are, deciding on who you want to date, who you want to marry, whatever it is. You'd rather have a particular one who matches the way you communicate and your speed and the way you behave instead of all these individuals who are mentally unstable, who are maybe dragging you down, whatever it is, because a respectable woman would understand, okay, I get what he's saying about Thanksgiving. Let me hear him out, right? And the next one is using humor to connect. There's like a lot of research on this, but I don't know why I found this a little bit interesting. So we're going to talk about humor, okay? Like the research of it. So using humor is very magnetic. And research done in 2017 particularly, there was like a couple samples, but let's just talk about, so it was like, what is the word for it? Aggregate? I'm spacing. I don't remember the word. There's like little bunches of samples. So 43 little bunches in total, like the N is like 15K. Okay. So that's like the total of these samples. Okay. We were basically seeing that we examined the role of humor in romantic relationships and connection, attraction, dating, etc. So different variations. Okay. And interesting enough, we found in the meta-analysis that positive humor, so humor styles that promote, their intention is to amuse and promote connection, is often associated with attraction and magnetism, and ladies love this, right? However, negative humor styles, so self-deprecating, but not even self-deprecating, like using humor at her expense, so making fun of her or making fun of other people, this was actually associated with negative satisfaction, and a lot of women found this to be a little bit unattractive, okay? And so how you use humor is very important. That's why I wanted to talk about this a little bit more, because how humor, like the humor how receptive the humor is dependent on how you translate it, right? If you're making humor in a very negative form, it does appear that it's going to backfire on you if you want to attract people. But if you're trying to attract people in a way where you're positive and you're making people laugh, people think, oh my God, this guy is so cool. He's like the center of attention, whatever it is. And this actually does also make long-term relationships last longer by just doing things like this. Women also, another research did find that ladies feel like one of the main reasons she married her husband or dated him is because he's funny. I thought that was really interesting. So humor is like very important. Like you can use humor in so many different ways that this might be the main thing if you want to take from this like study or whatever we're talking about. Humor is probably the most important one. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up today. I hope this video was helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.